What's up, everybody? This is the What the World Needs podcast. My name is Tori Franco, and this is episode, I think, number 14. And today, it's Friday, but I decided to get an early start on recording this podcast. I literally am doing this off the cuff. I have no idea what I want to talk about. Well, not true. I kind of want to talk about motivation because today I spent a bulk of my day laying in bed, not being productive. And again, I hate to be redundant because I'm always talking about my 52 song challenge, but it's extremely important to me. And I should have written 2 songs today, which, you know what? It's only, what time is it? 9 o'clock. It's Friday. I can always have nothing to do. I can always write 2 songs after this. But the point is that today I let time get away from me. And I'm always talking about productivity and being productive with your time and time management. And, well, not always. I'm not always talking about it, but I have talked about it in the past. And I feel like in this podcast, I want to, or this episode, I should say, I just want to really say that, and maybe this is a message to myself, but I just want to really say that it's perfectly fine to not be perfect. It's perfectly fine to make mistakes, and it's perfectly fine to fail once in a while. But what I find is not fine is wasting time in anything. When you waste time, you don't get it back. You know, when you waste time sitting on your phone when you could be writing songs, when you waste time in your feelings when you could be having a good time, when you waste time fighting with somebody when you could be making up, all of that is just time wasted that you'll never get back. And if we are really only on this earth for one lifetime, I don't believe it, but if that is true, then why not make the best of it while we're here? And at the very least, even if it's not true and we do get more than one life, you only get one of this life. You know what I mean? Like, there will only be one of this specific life. So why not make the best of every single one that you're given? You know what I mean? If that's what you believe, I don't know. But that's really what I want to talk about. And I don't know how long this is going to be. And I don't really know what I want to say. But I guess maybe for future Tori watching this, not that I watch my own shit, but for future Tori, one word I would like to say to you, or one thing I want to say to you is, stop wasting so much time. Stop wasting your time doing nothing. Be productive. Do what you have to do. Set your goals and reach them, and that's that. And while I feel like I'm on the right path still, you know what I mean? I do feel like I'm being productive. There's so much going for me. There's so much to do. I also feel like when there is so much to do, there's no time to lay around and do nothing. Quite literally, there's zero time for that. So, yeah, you know, I just feel like at this point in my life, every moment counts, every minute counts, every minute should be spent doing something productive, even if it's not productive as far as like career-wise or music-wise, just productive in the sense of being around people who like the same things, or productive as in enjoying yourself, genuinely enjoying your time with a loved one, or laughing, you know what I mean? Just be productive. And being productive means doing what you love, whatever that is. As long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anybody else, that is productivity. You know what I mean? There's lines, but that's really it. And I just kind of want to open up a conversation like time management. I found what helps for me to be motivated is to set a schedule. I don't know if anybody else does this or has done this, but when I did this, and I've gotten away from it, and I think that's why, like, because I have a lot of things going on. So I think that's why I got away from it, and I think that's why, like, it's kind of just going full circle. I've gotten away from making a schedule and making, like, time and setting time, blocks of time for certain things. And in doing that, things have just piled up. And over the summer, when I was, like, really friggin' motivated, I was doing videos every single day of the week, pretty much, except for weekends. I was doing 5 days a week, a reaction video. And while I've kind of veered away from reaction videos a little bit, and I've started doing more vlog type videos, because to me, vlogs are easier to do, because you can kill two birds with one stone with a vlog. You know, if I have to go to a studio session or I have somewhere to be, I can always vlog that studio session and be creating content while I'm on the go. And to me, it just makes sense. It's practical. Whereas reaction videos, you sit in front of a camera, you're not mobile, and you're watching a video, and if you have shit to do, I'm sure I could make time for it, but if you have shit, I just like vlogging, really. So I actually love vlogging, and I want to do more, and I'm experimenting. So over the summer, I was only doing reactions pretty much, and it was 5 days a week, twice a day. I was doing 10 reactions a week. And I was able to do it with everything that I had going on. I didn't have as much going on in the summer as I do now. You know, I have the songwriting contest that I have to go to, that it's just really at this point taking up emotional space. There's nothing really more that I have to do physically for it. The songs are written, and just waiting for that last song in the vlog on my main channel. If you guys didn't watch, my most recent vlog is me in the studio re-recording that song. My boy Jay Cloud is going to mix the song and master it and make it sound crisp and wonderful. So really, there's no more work on my end to be done, but it's just taking up a lot of emotional space. Like, thinking about it right now is giving me a knot in my stomach. I'm so, like, you know, I'm nervous. It's important to me. Plus, I have other things going on with a release of a song that I don't think I can talk about right now, because there's a contract involved and everything like that. It's really exciting stuff. I don't know if it's going to really bring anything crazy, but it's my first official contract, and I'm excited about it. I wrote this song for a producer back in October, so about 5 months ago. He reached out to me, maybe end of September, actually. This producer reached out to me, DJ/producer reached out to me, and he said, "Hey, I heard this specific song. I want your vocals, and I want you to write on my instrumental." And he sent me the instrumental. He sent me a bunch of them, and we both agreed on one particular one. And we were going back and forth, and he's from Finland. I'm from New York, so there's time difference and everything, but we went back and forth, and we collaborated. I wrote the song. He definitely gave his input on what he wanted, and I kind of just tried to mold the song into what he expected. And it actually came out really well. The song's called Hold On To Me. And he reached out to a record label out in the Netherlands called Spinnin' Records. They have a nice platform. They have like 20 million subscribers on YouTube, 2 million followers on Instagram, 2 million followers on Twitter. They're, I guess, a big deal out there. I never heard of them before. He reached out to them. They heard the song, they accepted the song, they want to release it under their label. So I've been just going back and forth the last couple of days, just dealing with contracts and talking to people and stuff like that. It's really exciting stuff. And if you would have told me this time last year, if you would have said, hey, in about a year from now, this is where you're going to be, this is what you're going to be doing, I would be like, wow, okay, that's crazy, because I was in a totally different place last year. So I guess this podcast is starting out talking about time management, but realistically, it's about like looking back, and maybe I'm too hard on myself. Like, it's about looking back and seeing like, this is what you've accomplished. This is where you're at right now. You may not be where you want to be yet, but look at all that has happened in the last year's time, 365 days. If you would have looked at me 365 days ago, I was almost 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. I was depressed and unhealthy, mentally and physically. I was sad. I was motivated, but not to the point of like, this is all I have, I'm gonna go for it. I was just in a totally different place. So to really be now saying, I'm in contract to be, to have my, like, to be signed under, for this song, like under publishing of, Warner Chappell, in the US, which is a huge deal for me, at least. That's incredible to me. Even if this song doesn't go anywhere, I feel like you guys will love the song, but I don't know, it's different. I don't write normal stuff. I mean, sometimes I do, but not all the time. It's different. But it's still catchy and good. And everybody I've played this song for is like, wow, this is a smash. So I'm praying that the song goes somewhere, and even if I make, as far as money, even if I make a couple $1,000s off of the song, hey, it's a couple thousand more than I had before. You know what I'm saying? And I know from here there's only one way to go, and it's up. There's no turning back now. So basically, this DJ heard a song. If you YouTube right now, Samurah, S as in Sam, A, M as in Mary, URAH, No Problem, featuring Tori Franco, you'll get a video with like 230,000 views. And that song I did probably the beginning of September, I want to say. Yeah, the beginning of end of August, beginning of September, I did that song. I didn't write it. I just did the vocals on it. These people contacted me again from overseas. Guy was from, I think, Poland. He contacted me and he was like, hey, I love your voice. I wrote this little snippet thing on this song that I produced. I want you to sing this song for me. And he actually, the guy, I was away for Labor Day weekend. Here in the U.S., we have Labor Day, which is like the beginning of September every year. Like kicks off the fall pretty much. It ends the summer, and I go away every single year with my family, and I was away up in the mountains, had no cell phone service, and these guys were Facebook messaging me, and he sent me the producer sent me a voice note of himself singing the song. It was a really crappy voice note, and he was like, don't mind my singing, but this is the gist of what I want you to do. Can you send me a voice note back? And I was in the Catskills, the Catskill Mountains in New York with my family, and I was drinking and eating my life away. And I was like, yeah, fine. I walked back into my room, to go shower. And I listened to him, the way he sang it, and I was like, okay, I kind of have an idea. I sang it back for him through a voice note, a Facebook voice note, and sent it to him. And he was like, yeah, that's perfect. Like, when you get home, I was like, listen, I'm away right now. He was like, okay, but the minute you get home, record it and send it to me. And I did. And this song, if you look on my SoundCloud, it's on my SoundCloud, but this song apparently got 230 views on YouTube, and on SoundCloud, I think it has almost 100,000, maybe 80,000 views, plays. So a lot of people liked it. It was posted by this, this well-known EDM blog, and it was pretty exciting. So from that, this other DJ contacted me, and he heard that song, and he was like, "Hey, I love your voice. Let's work." And I was like, "Cool." So now here we are, about 5 months later, after going back and forth and kind of just getting everything perfect the way that it should be. Now we're in the process of finalizing contracts and everything like that, and coming up with a release date and releasing the song. So it's exciting. It's very exciting stuff, especially when you're signing all these, even if nothing comes of it, when you're signing all these contracts and you have all these, this is your bank transfer information, and this is where the money's gonna go, and yada yada. It's like, it's cool. It's really a cool feeling to see one of your creations actually be placed somewhere in the eye, potentially in the eyes of millions of people, or the ears of millions of people. It's really cool. And I still don't know the release date. I haven't been told anything about the release date. This is all literally brand new. Like, I want to say maybe Monday. No, I think it was Monday, I got the message from the producer, and he said, "Hey, Spinnin' Records wants to release the song." I didn't think they wanted to, because he had come to me about a month ago, and he was like, "I'm going to submit this song to Spinnin' Records, and if they accept it, then we'll go forward and we'll release it under them. If not, I'm under contract with them for another 4 months, so then we won't release it until the summer." I was like, "All right, whatever. Let me know." He was like, "Okay," and I didn't hear from him for like a month and a half. So I figured the reason why he hadn't reached out to me was because he was too afraid to tell me that Spinnin' Records didn't like the song. But that wasn't the case. They liked the song, and they want to release it, and that's what's going to be happening. So I can't wait for you guys to hear the song. It's definitely different from what I'm used to creating, and I like that. I like to create different stuff. Again, this 52 song challenge, it includes just so far I have 16 songs, and these 16 songs are so different from one another. There's really poppy, uppity songs. There's really dark pop songs. There's going to be a little R&B. There's going to be electro pop. It's just a little bit of everything, because this 52 song challenge, I want to be able to showcase my songwriting abilities, my versatility. And to be honest, some of the songs are rushed. You know what I mean? They really are. Some of the songs, I will literally sit here and admit to you that at this point, they are rushed. At some point, I'm going to go back to the ones that I know in my head are rushed and need to be kind of fine-tuned a little bit, and I'll make them better. But I have a solid foundation for where I want the songs to go and how I want them to be. And that definitely is a good thing in my book. One thing I've found so far with this 52 song challenge is that when you do put a number on it, I'm going to write 52 songs by this date. When you give yourself such a crazy deadline and you have all these other things going on other than just obviously writing, it does kind of not force you, but it's like, I have to rush this song, because you're not writing songs for feeling anymore. You're writing songs because you have to reach a quota. And that's definitely different for me. But I feel as though I have to do this if I want to become a professional songwriter, in a studio and whatnot. I have to do this. I can't, if I become a professional songwriter and I have a publishing deal with Warner Chappelle and they want me to write a song for, whatever artist, I can't look at them and be like, sorry, I can't, I'm not in the mood today. Like, no, this is your job. You have to fucking produce something. You have to make something. So I feel like at the very least, this is a workout. This is me working out my muscle, my brain, my vocals, my melody, my ability to create dope melody, and create dope concepts in the brink of, however many months. You know what I mean? So that I don't know, that to me is what needs to be done if you want to really be a songwriter, or at least for myself, if I want to be a songwriter, this is what I have to do. I have to know that I can I can produce decent songs, good songs, dope. I'm not going to produce anything less than decent. You know what I mean? You'll never hear, there's not going to ever be somebody who's going to be like, this is garbage. I'm never going to, and I can say that with confidence, I'm never going to produce garbage music. But yeah, there are absolutely going to be songs that are just not where they need to be. They're still good, but they're not there, And then there's going to be times where I'm going to produce songs that are there. And I know that. And I recognize that. And I think every songwriter understands that not every song is a hit. Not every song is a Billboard chart topping song. It's just not, it doesn't work that way. And that's the beauty of consistency, is when you're consistent, you give yourself more chances to create those hits. If you let's say you create 3 hits in a year on average, well, when you do a 52 song challenge, those 3 songs may turn into 12 songs out of the 52 that could potentially be hits. So you up your chances of writing a hit song. It's like when you're uploading to YouTube. If you're uploading one song, one video a month, the chances of that video going viral and getting you 100,000 subscribers in a week are very slim. But if you're uploading once a day or 3 times a week, the chances go up. The chances of you hitting big on social media or, on YouTube go up. So that's where my mind state is. And I think the biggest challenge right now is my time management. Getting back to that, because I totally segued away from that. My biggest challenge is time management, fitting everything into the waking hours and not procrastinating. Procrastinating is my biggest problem. That's literally the biggest problem that I have when it comes to all of this stuff. Today, I could have gotten so much done. I could have answered everybody's Facebook messages, because I do try to reach out to everybody on Facebook. On YouTube, sometimes it just doesn't happen. If the video doesn't get a lot of views, I can answer it. But if it's a video that's getting a lot of views, it's like it overwhelms me to even look at comments, because when I look at the comments, I feel like I have to reply back to everybody. But my Facebook messages are getting crazy, but they're still manageable at this point. I can still take one day a week to answer everybody back, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll probably do that tomorrow, because I literally did not do any of that today. Sometimes you just need a mental break. And I found, actually, I took that mental break and I was able to write like a nice couple of poems that I can turn into songs. I think that that's the beauty of this. I'm figuring out different ways to write songs. Before I only had one way. You play an instrumental and then you try and fit lyrics onto that instrumental and come up with a melody. And now I'm realizing the more I'm writing, the more I'm writing songs, the more I'm creating content in my head and thinking of ideas and coming up with certain ways to say things, and it's kind of just flowing out. But it's not flowing out in the way that I normally write songs, where I do it all at once. I'm realizing that I'm writing a poem on my phone. I'm like, I'll be driving or just sitting in my bed, and I'll have like there'll be like a phrase that runs over and over again in my head, and I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. And then I'll take my phone out and just write a poem, and I'll find that lyrically that helps. It helps with my lyrics when I'm just focusing on that. So now what I have is I have an arsenal of lyrics that I can take to a beat on a later date, maybe tomorrow or whatever, and fit those lyrics onto the beat, and then just come up with the melody. So there's so many ways to write a song, but for me, I think focusing on one at a time, one element of the song at a time, is key. Because there's essentially 3 elements to the song. There's the instrumental or the beat, the music, the backing music, whatever you want to call it. There's that. Then there's lyrics. Then there's melody. Those are like the 3 basic elements to a song. And all 3 have to be equally amazing in order to make a dope song, So I've found that when I sit down to write a song and I try and do all 3 at once, both at once, melody and lyrics at once, there are times where I'll focus more on lyrics and my melody will kind of lack. Or I'll focus more on melody and my lyrics will kind of lack. And melody and lyrics is where the emotion comes from, and that's what grabs people. So I feel like, for me at least, doing it this way on my phone works, because there's no pressure to do anything other than just write my feelings down and write dope lyrics. And then I can take those dope lyrics and sing any melody that I want. I don't have to think of both of them at the same time. I hope that makes sense. For anybody listening, I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about my time management today. And I've been slacking a lot. My mind has been wandering, and that's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I understand it happens, but I'm not going to make a habit of it. And this is what I have going on so far. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going to the House of Sound recording studio, which is pretty much that's like my home base. You know what I mean? I record at my house. I record all my stuff at my house, but House of Sound is my place. That's where my best friend is, all my good friends are, and I feel at home there, and that's my home studio. So anyway, I'm going to be there tomorrow, and we're actually going to be filming next week's podcast episode tomorrow. I'm going to have my friend Jay Cloud on, maybe Bobby G if he wants to, and I'm going to literally just ask them questions. They're engineers. I'm going to ask them questions, and we're just going to have a dope intellectual philosophical conversation. Me and Jay Cloud have the best conversations. Me and Bobby have the best conversations. Those are my 2 best friends. And I feel like, why not tape it and show everybody, because it would make for great content. So that's that. That is what's happening tomorrow. So that's going to be episode number 15. It's going to be me and Jay Cloud and possibly Bobby just having a dope conversation. So stay tuned for that. If you want to check out my main channel. I'm assuming most of you are coming from my main channel, so either way. But if you want to check out my main channel, you totally can. That'll be linked in the description below, just like everything else. But yeah, this is the What the World Needs podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed my rant. I'm gonna try and be more prepared next week. Actually, no, next week's podcast is gonna be so dope. I have a strong feeling. So stay tuned for that. I love you all. Stay real, stay smiling, stay wonderful. Until next time, peace out.